because we're gonna do another one just to show you guys. Alright, so we got Sam Turner's 20B Cosmo. So these cars are pretty rare. Some of you know this is the car that comes with the 3-rotor. It's the first time I've seen it in person. He said he's gonna bring it by a couple times. How long you had this car?
This car coming up on 3 years. Had it for 2 years in Japan and about 6 months back here in the States.
Okay. So, I mean, the car is like beautiful. So it's like a little different than the one we had. The one we had was like tan interior, which this is cloth, which I love it. It's crazy looking. So these have like an interesting interior. Rear seats. They're actually pretty comfortable. So I think what we're gonna do is give you guys a little look on a stock 20B. We're gonna put it on the dyno and see how much horsepower it makes from the factory. These cars were pretty restricted from the factory, and you know, same engine as mine that makes 486, but this one's like, you know, stock twin. So let's see what it does. Turn the wheel more. Yeah. All right, and now keep it straight. All right. Okay. All right, come back straight. All right, so we did a dyno pull, and right now we have it on diagnostics because it had a big drop. It had pretty much big drop in horsepower and torque. So after looking at it, it has a big boost leak. So it did 185, which should be 300, and then it did almost 300 torque, but it fell off on the top end. So it needs to stay constant. So we're gonna fix the boost leak and see what it does. All right, so this is what was leaking. It looks like 3 pieces of manila folder that somebody used as a gasket. So we're gonna put a correct gasket on it and re-dyno. This is boost leak fixed. Hitting no boost. So the next pull is with the vacuum leaks fixed. and with the wastegate actuator hooked up, it was disconnected. Before we did everything, this is what it did. So ignore the 251 because that was just a spike out of nowhere. So it should be around 300, but we'll see. So after fixing those things, this is the improvement we had. 260, 321 torque. So you know, my guess is that, you know, the turbos probably are, since it is like a car that's 20 something years old, 20 something year old turbos. You know, they're probably like a little on the older side, but let me pull up the graph. So this is the graph with the wastegate actuators hooked up and with the boost leak fixed. So that's more like how it's supposed to look at from the factory. Torque wise, it's rated for 300 from the factory, so they're 321, so that's a lot higher than what it was rated. Horsepower wise, it didn't quite make it at the end, but that's probably because you know, it's running out of steam. Like turbo wise, you know, they are 26 years old, or you know, well, it's like around 30 years old actually. So these are, you know, this is the original turbos, all that stuff. So definitely an improvement from when it showed up here. So this is the difference before the boost leaks were fixed. So you can see, start off, drop down. Horsepower, same thing, drop down. This is after the boost leaks were fixed and the wastegate actuator was hooked up. So he's gonna go for a test drive. I love these things. This 20B power is awesome.
Where do I want to take it from here?
Just go right.
Yeah.
And just as soon as you go right, you can step on it. And then after the bridge is like a nice straight also, so you can feel it out. So, all right, now. You know, we put the 20B, the Cosmo on the dyno, just because I was interested to see what it does. We found two problems, with a boost leak on the blow valve and the wastegate, well, it's not the wastegate, it's an actuator for the twin turbos. It was loose, so the actuator itself was, the C-clip was off. So we fixed that and had a huge gain in power.